Parents, and welcome to this week's weekly highlight video. It is a busy week, the last week before the Christmas break. This coming Wednesday is our Christmas assembly, and I want to make a special note to our parents to remind you that you are invited to join us that Wednesday morning at 9:30. We'll be meeting in the gym for a whole school assembly to celebrate the birth of Christ with our students and our community. So come on out if you are able to make it. It will be a beautiful time together. This week also on Friday, we have our next sports day. So we did a sports day earlier in the year, and we're doing our second one on Friday. It'll be an opportunity for all of our students to participate in different active living activities throughout the campus. For junior school and senior school, it's going to be a great opportunity for students to engage with one another and be active while they enjoy building community with one another. On Friday, also, we're letting our students go home a little earlier. So junior school students will be dismissed just after 12:30 and senior school students around 12:45. And so that note was shared with you parents a while ago. Just please make sure you make arrangements to pick up your students at that time. This week is also a busy week with themes in both our junior school and our senior school for dress up. And so those themes are posted on the screen now. You can see what your junior school students and senior school students are encouraged to dress as this week. And as always, parents, please don't feel pressure to go out and buy new clothes for these dress up themes. Do your best to meet the themes. And if you don't, uniform is always acceptable. So you can always send your students to school in their regular school uniform if you just can't match the theme this week. We have a special guest with us today. Mr. Kelvin is here to talk a little bit about our IGCSE program and the success of our students. Parents, we are joined today by Mr. Kelvin, our grade 7 to 10 curriculum coordinator. And Kelvin, we got some exciting news recently about some of our results from last year's IGCSE exams. Why don't you share a little bit about those results?
Sure, yeah, so it's very exciting for our community. The Cambridge and Cambridge, Indonesia in particular, does something called the Cambridge Outstanding Learners Awards each year. And this year we get to celebrate 3 different awards for our students in grade 11 this year, our current grade 11s. It's very exciting. They scored the top score in international mathematics across all of Indonesia. We had the highest score in literature and English across all of Indonesia, and then the highest score in music. So those are 3 different awards announced and given to specific students in our grades. Those students already know about it, so if you're not sure if that was you or not, you've already been informed if that was you. So big congratulations to them. We'll be sharing that with the community as a whole a little later, but wanted to celebrate them today as well.
So Mr. Kelvin, we're obviously very proud of our students and their achievement, but it's not just about the final grades in our IGCSE program. That program is really designed to be a pathway into our DP program. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about how that pathway works and how we're preparing students for success in grade 11 and 12.
Yeah, very much so. So my motto in the IGCSE program is that students' goals are to learn, to explore, and then to prepare for the IB program. We want students to focus on learning first and foremost, not just on getting the best grade that they can. There's a lot of research to show that if you are learning consistently throughout those 2 years, instead of just cramming for tests and memorizing things, you'll do much better not only in that program, but more importantly in your future as well. And so that's our goal behind learning. We want learning to be fun and engaging, but we also want students to explore. So some parents ask us, why do we need to choose 2 sciences, or why do we need to choose these different subjects if I don't think my student will pursue that in university? The goal is our students in the IGCSE program are still very young, and we want them to be able to explore different options because people change and passions change, and we want to make sure that each student has an opportunity to look into a few of those different areas. And then last is preparing for the IB. Certainly not a minor task in any way, but preparing for the IB is done in a few different ways. We've purposely chosen these courses that we have and to create a pathway from grade 9 all the way up into grade 12 to set those students up for success. So every student in our program has a lot to celebrate, and we're excited for them as they enter into the IGCSE program, as they wrap it up, and then as they celebrate moving into the IB DP program as well.
Thanks, Kelvin. And parents, we've been talking a lot about our expected student outcomes over the last couple of weeks. And I hope you noticed when Mr. Kelvin was sharing this idea of we want our students to flourish, right? Which means helping them to explore where their strengths are, where their passions are, so they figure out what God is calling them to do in the future. That's a big part of who we are as a school at SPH KV Village. And I applaud Mr. Kelvin and his team for working with our grade 7 to 10 students to make sure they're doing that, to learn how to flourish and to thrive. Parents, that's all for our weekly highlights video this week. I want to thank Mr. Kelvin for joining me today and wish you all the best and a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to both you and all of your families.